pattern that we're going to be looking at today is this sugar and cream pattern that I got from their website. There's tons of websites out there that have patterns, free patterns available, YM brand, pretty much every yarn brand has their own website and free patterns that go with their yarn. I tend to use Ravelry. It's a really good website, and I mean, no endorsement, like they're not paying me to say this. I practically live on there, and that's where I find the majority of my patterns from. They have pay patterns and free patterns and knitting patterns and crochet patterns and loom knitting patterns and all kinds of stuff on there. So that's just the website that I use. There's tons out there that are available on the internet. Okay, so this is a crochet pattern, and it does have here on the side, it lists how big. This is a dishcloth that you can make. It lists the measurements of about how big it's going to be, which yarn they recommend. Obviously they're going to recommend their own yarn, what size hook they recommend, or you use the hook that goes with the correct gauge of the yarn that you're using. This lists the gauge using this hook and this yarn. It lists the gauge down here, so you can match up whatever yarn you're using. You can make sure it's the same gauge. They have a stitch glossary. Unfortunately, they just mention this one stitch as opposed to listing all the stitches, even though it's listed as a beginner pattern. But I'll go through with the different stitches, abbreviations, and they have a website down here where you can look up all of the rest of the abbreviations and not just this one stitch. Okay, so this is a dishcloth, and then here over it's a bobble dishcloth, and it says bobble bands, or they have over here a granny square one, and it's kind of holy, so this one will probably be faster to work with. This one has a little bit more repeats in it because it only has 5 rows, but you have to repeat it until it's 9.5 inches. Okay, alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look at this pattern. So we're looking at the bobble pattern, and this one, the granny square is the easy one. The bobble one is kind of mostly easy. Okay, so if we go down here, I'm going to zoom in a bit for you, into this pattern. So this is your pattern right here, and this is it for the whole thing. You're going to chain 34, okay, and then your first row is going to be on the wrong side, so it's going to be the back of your work. Okay, it says 1 single crochet, and that's the SC, in the second chain from the hook. So it's telling you to do that because you need that extra chain length to start up in the next row, and then you're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the chains across. And then you're going to turn, and then at the end of this row you should have 33 single crochets. Okay, so I have some yarn, and it is not cotton, it is not the sugar and cream at all. This is just some worsted weight yarn that I have, just to do a quick demonstration to show you what it looks like as you're working with. I'm working with a number 8 shiny 8 or H. It's a 5mm hook, just for demonstration, and hopefully it'll be easy to see against the yarn. Okay, so I'm going to do my slip knot, and my first instruction says to do 34 chains. Okay, so I'm going to do 34. There I have 34 single crochets. And the next instruction, which would be the first row, it says I'm going to put 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Okay? So here's my first chain, and there's my second chain. Okay? So then what you're going to do is you're going to insert it into the second chain, loop over, and single crochet. Okay? Then you're going to put 1 single crochet in each chain across. So you're going to go across all of these doing just a single crochet. Okay? So I've single chained across. So then you're going to turn, and you'll have 33 single crochets in that row. So the next row pretty much says the same thing. You're going to chain 1, and that is the height of your next row, and you're going to single chain in each chain across, and then turn again. Okay? So turning, chain 1, and I'm assuming that they want you to work through both loops. Since they don't specify, usually they mean work through both loops. And okay, so that's the second row, pretty much the same as the first row. So I'm going to turn to the front of the work, or to the wrong side, I guess. That's your front, that's your back. you'll be able to tell after the next row. Okay, so the third row, you're going to chain 1 again. You're going to single crochet into the first stitch, and then you're going to do this fancy stitch that they have listed up here. Okay, so let's do this first part. We've turned, and then there's our chain 1, our single crochet into the first stitch, and now we're going to do MB. People who write their patterns can pretty much make their own stitch names. For the most part, there's like set ones like single crochet, and then over here you can see a double crochet. Those are pretty much like set standard, but I mean for the different bobble stitches and pineapple stitches and stuff, people have different abbreviations for them, and usually they put them in a stitch glossary if it's something weird or something they made up or something like that, and they'll tell you how. And if they don't tell you how, it's easy enough to go online, maybe come here to this channel and see how they do certain stitches like that. Okay, so the first thing it says is you're going to insert and drop a loop, yarn over and drop 2 loops on hook. Okay, so we're going to do that, and this is what it says. You're going to yarn over, go through, drop a loop, yarn over, drop a loop. Okay. Oh, misread that. So you yarned over and you drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2. Okay, and then this part is in parentheses, so after that it says 4 times in the next stitch. So what you're going to do is you're going to do this 4 times. So we've done it once. Okay, there's twice, 3 times, and 4 times. Okay, and then it says yarn over and draw through all 5 loops on hook. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, so we know we did it the right number of times. And you're going to yarn over and pull through all 5. Okay, and then back down here, this is where we went up there, so now we're down here on the next part. It says 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 single crochets. So we're going to go 1 and 2. And then it says repeat from the asterisk, which is right here above their MB, to the last 2 single crochets. So you're going to make a bobble, which is probably what MB stands for, and then you're going to do the 2 single crochets. Okay? So we repeated it to the last 2 single crochets, and then it tells us to make another bobble and then 1 single crochet in the last single crochet. So we're going to make 1 more bobble, and then 1 single crochet in the last single crochet, and then it says turn. So there you have it, bobbles. There's tons of different kinds of bobbles and stuff out there, so don't think this is the only style. There's lots out there. If you want to toss a bobble on a hat or something, that would be cute, huh? A big hat. Anyway, so then the 4th and 5th rows say as the second row, and the second row is to chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch across. And then it says repeat the 2nd to the 5th rows until work measures 9.5 inches. I don't think I want to bore you guys with making this for 9.5 inches, because that'll make this video last forever. But as you can see, that's a pretty simple pattern. So that's easy enough pattern to learn fairly quickly and to memorize, to be out on the go. So if you just want to memorize, you know, the single crochet across and then make your bobbles, and then single crochet again, and then single crochet again and make your bobbles, it's pretty easy to memorize, to take on the go for this one. Okay, so for this other pattern, it gives the colors it recommends. It says a main color, and that's MC. 1 ball of those. They recommend a nougat color, and then an alternate or contrast color, and they say cinnamon. So this is going to be 10.5 inches square, so it's 1 inch bigger than this one. And it recommends an 5mm hook, or needed to obtain this gauge. Okay. This one doesn't give any glossary definitions. Like this one has a stitch glossary on this side, but this one does not seem to have one. So let me just go here fairly quickly for you guys. It's all pretty much the same thing. It just looks scarier just because there's a bunch more words in it, and numbers and asterisks and parentheses and all kinds of stuff. But it's just as easy as the first one. Okay, so let me get this in here for mostly just this pattern and not the other one. So with this one you have 2 colors, and it's kind of like a, you can see the different colors in the stitches. So you're going to start off with a main color. You're just going to chain 6. Okay, so the first thing it says is with your main color you're going to chain 6. Okay, so I have this yellow color and then my green color from the last one, and then we're going to say the green color is the main color since we used that last time. Okay, so we're going to do our slip knot. We're only going to chain 6. Okay, and then it says join with a slip stitch, that's the SLST, slip stitch in the first chain to form a ring. Okay, so you're going to go into this first chain, and you're going to yarn over your hook, pull it through that first chain, and then you're also going to pull it through the other loop that's on your hook. Okay, that's called a slip stitch. So it doesn't make any height or any stitch like the single crochet. It's just flat. There's no like stitch there. It's just like a joiner, or to move your yarn to a different starting point. Okay, so then it says to chain 3, which is going to count as our first double crochet. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I like to put my finger in the hole just to keep it with tension. It's like the same as holding this thing, this tail yarn. So we did 1 double crochet in the ring so far. So we're going to yarn over into the ring again, and then pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, so we did 2 double chain in the ring. So next we need to do the chain 3 and 3 double chain in the ring. And since it's in parentheses, we need to do it 3 times. Okay, so okay, and it says chain 3 and join with the slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Okay, so we chain 3, and here's 1, 2, 3. We're going to join with the slip stitch into this stitch. Okay, and I'm going under both loops, and then both loops. Okay, then it says to break off the main color. I'm going to not break off, just for ease of rewinding my yarn. And I'm just going to add in my next color. Okay, so it says second round, join A with slip stitch in any corner of the 3 chain space. So we're gonna try this again. We're gonna join into a different corner here with a slip stitch. So we have our slip knot. You go into the chain 3 space, yarn over, and then pull it through. Okay, and then what it says to do is to chain 3, which is going to count as a double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to 2 double crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochet in the same space. So then you're going to have something and then chain 3 and then 3 more double crochets. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Then it says to chain 1 and then 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet in the next corner, chain 3 space. So we chain 1 and then 3 double crochet, chain 3 and 3 more double crochet. Okay, you're going to repeat this. It says repeat twice more, so you're going to do it in the last spaces. Okay. Then it says you're going to join with the slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 after chaining 1. Oops. So here's 1, 2, 3. And there you go. And then for the third round, because it's going in circles, so it's called a round instead of a row, where the other one was done in rows. I saw round and I don't think I made that clear earlier. So in the third one, we're going to join back with the main color and slip stitch into any of the chain 3 spaces. Okay. So I'm just going to do it into this one right here. Okay. And then I'm going to chain 3, which counts as my double crochet, and then chain or do 2 double crochets, chain 3, and then do 3 more double crochets. Okay. Then we're going to chain 1 and then 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. So this is the chain 1 space. And we're just going to put one cluster in here. That's usually what these are called. They're called clusters. These little squares. But anyway, so going by what was from here and around, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 3, and then 3 more double crochets. And that's pretty much the whole pattern, because in the next rows you're going to do the same thing for the corners. You're going to have your 3 double crochets, your chain 3, and 3 double crochets. And then in each of the chain 1 spaces, you're just going to have 3 double crochets. Okay? And you can make it as big as you want, do however many rounds. This one does 7 rounds. But I mean, you could go even bigger if you wanted to make like a trivet or something, or if you wanted to, this is like a really basic granny square. You could do like a whole bunch of these and then stitch them together into a blanket. And let me tell you, this would be a warm blanket because of all the holes. And I don't know why, it's just blankets with the biggest and the most holes always are the warmest. But yeah, okay. So that's just a kind of quick tutorial on some of the abbreviations that are found in crochet patterns. And I'll do a knit one later today because now it's kind of late. And yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments or shoot me a little message, jobber. Like I said before, you can find patterns all over the internet. And they're fairly easy to follow sometimes. They can be a little confusing on how they word them. And the only thing you have to watch out for in crochet is you want to make sure that you get the American, I guess American style versus like the English style, because they label theirs different. So their triples are our doubles and their doubles are our singles, if that makes sense. They're a little different than ours, wording wise and term wise. So that's the only thing you have to watch out for, is to make sure that it's written in American terms. But other than that, these are some really simple patterns to get started. Again, I got them off of the Lily Sugar and Cream website, and that's right here, sugarandcream.com, and they make a wide assortment of cottons to use for kitchen stuff, like pot holders or, dishcloths, stuff like that, towels. But yeah. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I've got more videos coming up, so stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe so you get all the latest updates, and hit that bell so you get notified. And I'll talk to you guys later.